This is the Male Rights Activist Podcast, episode 138. We focus on relationships, sports, and pop culture from a man's point of view. First of all, we want to thank our listeners, our new ones, our OGs. Thank you for hanging with the fellas.
What up?
On today's show, Deshaun Watson has more accusers.
Putting up them Bill Cosby numbers now, man. The DA gonna be like, I would like to talk to you.
Hilarious. LeBron James buys the Redsox.
Yo, he's a Yankees fan. That's like me buying the Lakers and then, me start sabotaging the team and, oh, I see what you're doing.
Brilliant. We have a Dear Irby from a woman who wants to make an investment with the family money, but her man don't want to. And Dre's wife has some new accusations. We'll talk about all that and more right now. This is the MRA podcast with Kyle and Kamal, where men come to talk and women come to eavesdrop. I'm Kyle.
I am Kamal.
And we are helping you to understand the man you love. Hey, man. First of all, Kamal, what's up in your life, dog? You get that second shot yet?
I got my second shot, man, last week.
All right, so tell me this. How soon can you go to the club? Like, do you got to wait another week, or are you good the second you get the second shot?
What the experts say, or what I say? Because I was already fucking around after I got my first shot.
My mom laughed her ass off when you said that. She said, that was so funny. Come out. Was out there with half a shot, half a vaccination. This nigga was turned up. Half a vaccination, baby.
Yeah, I was actually tripping with I was acting the fool when I scheduled the appointment. Like, I'm about to be cool in about a week or two. So
what? Let's schedule the tomfoolery.
Nah, I don't know, man. I think my girl said 2 weeks.
2 weeks after the second shot.
Yeah, but let me tell you something, man. The first shot, my arm was sore.
Yeah.
My arm was sore for a few days, man. I felt like somebody shot me. I couldn't lift up anything. Yeah. The second shot, I kind of massaged my arm a little bit. I rubbed the muscle and everything like that. Just tried to keep it loose. I didn't get as much soreness. However, I was down for the count for about 10 hours, man. I was just so my whole body ached. It was like I had the flu. I had
COVID.
Is that what it was?
I don't know, but I'm guessing if they gave you a shot that keeps you from getting COVID, they probably gave you a little bit of COVID.
Man, I was in bad shape. My head was hurting, man. My whole body was aching. I went to work, and then I had to come home early and got into bed.
Whoa. What do you mean went to work?
Nah, man, I drove out to the job site, man. We're back on.
I thought you did that shit at the crib.
2 days a week, I go out and I go out to the campus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, honestly, it's like one student there and stuff like that, but we have to offer. We have to offer, and so vast majority of the parents are like, nah, but we still have to offer just to say we did it.
Yeah, I got you. I feel you.
So I drive out there on Tuesdays and Thursdays just to make sure.
I got it. You drove out there and you weren't feeling well. You had to come home?
I had to come home, man. And I crawled in the bed, man, and I tried to sweat it out. I had on thermals, and I hadn't felt this bad in a few years.
That's how I felt when I had the Rona, man. It was like whatever I got this is the motherfucker right here.
Yeah. It didn't affect my breathing or my taste and smell and stuff like that, man, because I was musty and I smelled that.
You smelled the must. That's a good sign.
I was musty underneath the covers. I'm like, well.
You know how bad you smell when you can smell yourself, bro? Like, by the time it gets to your nose, it has singed everybody around you in a 20-foot radius.
Well, I was in the bed, so I had on all of this shit.
Oh, yeah.
I had on all of this shit, man. So I was like, because I got the old school philosophy, man. I don't usually take medicine, so I try to sweat
Me too.
my colds out. So I had on all
cold
types
turkey,
of shit.
literally.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, I'm living foul right now. So I guess I don't have like the full-fledged Rona because I can smell.
Nah, hilarious. Well, no, even if you have full-fledged, sometimes you keep the smell. I never lost my smell.
Oh, okay. Because you didn't have no Rona, man.
But whatever, man. I know my body, bro. We're not going to have this debate. You know what I mean? You know, I know what I had. I know the symptoms I had. Yeah, man. I know me. But whatever, man. I'm going to tell you this, dog. 19 years in the comedy game, man. I just had my comedy birthday come out. I remember when I was at 1, then 3, and then 7. I thought it was about to pop. I've been 7 years. I've been doing this 7 years. And then the next one after that was 10, and then after that is 20, man. And you know, when you've been doing comedy this long, you kind of feel like something's gonna happen by then, right? I'm in 19, man. Then after you pass like 7, then you don't want the years. It's kind of like, you know, when you become old, you don't want the years no more. Because now it's just like, damn, nigga, you've been doing it that long. What's the cat? What's up, dog? Why don't I know you?
What's 7? What was 7?
7 years is usually when they say you know your voice. You get your voice at 7 years, and I don't know if you remember. I was in development. I think at year 7, man. I had that guy used to meet me that wanted to develop the sitcom about me, the player dad.
No, that was.
I never told you about that.
Yeah. I'm saying, but that was 12 years ago.
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because I remember how old my kids were.
Oh wow, that was 12 years ago. Time flies when
time don't
ain't doing shit,
nigga. Hey man, I got some good news, man. I shot a commercial last week for an insurance company, man.
Okay.
And yeah, man, I got another one next week, man. I got
another insurance commercial?
Big fast food joint. I got a fast food joint coming up.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
Look at you, man.
Yeah, man. It feels good to have back-to-backs, man. And the other one that I booked in September-ish is on hold.
Okay.
So that's a good feeling, man. And I want to keep on stacking them things up. You feels me?
Yeah, man. Is this potential? Could you be like Jake from State Farm? Can you, or like what's the name, Flo from Progressive? Because does it have potential for you to be like the guy?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely not. No, there is no reoccurring chance.
I said potential. No chance of it.
Not. Maybe the fast food joint, but I'm telling you right now that ain't gonna happen.
Oh, you can't be the Popeyes lady and shit like that.
Nah. Yeah, Louisiana fast. When we come back, we have some feedback, and after that, we have a post-nut story from a man who regrets an impulse decision. What did he do? Find out soon. It's the MRA Podcast. Hey, what's up, guys? I sure hope you're enjoying the show. If you like it, I invite you to go to our website, themrapodcast.com, and catch up on over 100 episodes that we have in store for you.
You ain't working, you might as well check us out.
And if you want some more, go over to The World According to Cheryl and check me out on Cheryl Underwood's podcast. We post content there every single day. We have her normal radio show labeled SUR, and then the Cheryl Underwood podcast, where we get in her personal business every Friday. Then on the weekends, we have the specialty shows that range from Late Night Cupcake into Auntie Cheryl's House Party to our gospel show, Spiritual Nourishment.
You gotta check out The World According to Cheryl, even though I ain't on it.
We got the feedback, homie.
Do we now?
Yes, we do, man. Bridget said, I learned so much from your show. I laughed so hard when Kamal said, what man fantasizes about his wife? I'm glad I fantasize about my husband, but I never knew he didn't fantasize about me! ! It was an ego hit for a second, but I don't need to be his fantasy. I'm his reality. Go on, Bridget.
Confidence. I love that confidence in Bridget.
I love it. Now that you say it, it makes perfect sense. Do you think Tom Brady fantasizes about Giselle?
No.
I can't believe she asked me that.
No.
Why would you? No, no. Why
he did before he got with her.
Before the 5th time he hit it. I don't understand why she sounded like she got it and then went right back to, well, maybe that magical couple. Well, no. I don't think he does, and I'm going to leave it there. Callie Cammy, who's hit us on Instagram, she responded to us saying that you have to change your type if you want something new, she said, with different mates. We in the same time frame, which I didn't understand, but whatever. That's what she said, and I could have asked for clarity, but I didn't. We posted, whoever told you how they really felt lied. Linz R. Hutch said, your advice has served me well in the past, and that's what's up. And yeah, so that felt good. And Pastor Braxton said, hilarious. When we come back, we have a post nut from a man who regrets an impulse decision. What do you do? Find out next. It's the MRA Podcast. According to Webster's dictionary, being in post-nut mode is when you have a clear mind and you can make sound decisions as if you just busted a nut.
Yeah, I don't know if Webster actually said that.
No, he didn't. But our listener Big Easy Q told us all about it and we can relate. Women, men. So listen, if you have a story of when you did something foolish.
In pre-nut mode?
Yeah, something really dumb. Maybe it was top crime. Especially something in pre-nut mode you don't want nobody to know about. Hit us up and we'll tell the world. We can all laugh at your expense and hopefully you'll learn from your mistakes.
Aristotle once said, the results of pre-nut mode is the best teacher. I think he said some shit like that.
Send us your stories at dearirby@themrapodcast.com. That's dearirby@themrapodcast.com. And now it's time for a post-nut mode story, only on the MRA Podcast. Okay, this one is from G in Palmdale. He said, I'm a man in my 40s. And what I love about my 40s, I don't make stupid decisions like I used to. Amen to that. I used to go out of the country on business, and I won't say which country just in case somebody I know tries to put this together. I used to get lonely on these trips, so I would pay for company. I like how he said that. Every time I was there until a guy I know told me I could meet a woman online before I got there. That's what I started doing. I would find a girl I liked online and started talking to her. Then when I got to the country, we already had the ball rolling, so to speak, and it was a lot easier to find companionship. I'm not one of those guys who likes to sleep around. I just want sex, love, and companionship from one woman. I have been looking for a wife for a while now, but these women in America have the game twisted. They think you work for them. Not saying she works for me, but I sure don't work for them. I have been told for a long time I should find a wife either from down south or outside the country. I've never been down south, so I tried outside the country. I went on my now favorite app, found a girl I liked, and we hit it off. I knew she was the one, so I asked her to get married. This wasn't married at first sight, but it was pretty close. Our marriage didn't last 6 months. Damn. She started getting real needy. She never wanted me to leave the house. Then, when I did, she accused me of cheating. She wasn't the happy woman she used to be. She told me either I had to move to her country or we were done. I sent her home. That was a few years ago, but now I'm in post-nut mode from making impulse decision. That's G in Palmdale. Man, what do you think about what G went through, Kamal?
Well, it's like what Eddie said, man, in
Come
Raw.
to America. No, in the Raw.
Yeah, man, you go, no matter where you get the chick, he got on fufu and brought her back to the States. And fufu, she started hearing shit from the American women, man. She started, the problem was he brought her back. He shouldn't have brought her back, man. He should have. Well, obviously, if it was possible, he probably would have needed to relocate to where she was from, and that's where she wanted. And she probably would have been the happy person that he was used to. We bring her back to the States, man, and she fucking around watch Wendy and.
Oh, that's it. Let me tell you something, Kamal. This is something I haven't had to deal with just yet. Some of these young bucks out there, my son, he probably deals with it. These ballers like the homie C Bizzle, he probably deals with it. Kamal Abdul-Jabbar, when you were JV All-American, you probably dealt with it. I ain't never been that dude. I've been that dude like school popular, but I ain't never been stranger popular, if you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And so there's never been an incentive for a woman to pretend just so she could have me. But when he was floating America, you know what I mean? To this woman, he was probably her ticket to America. So she was probably on her best behavior, Kamal. And once she got to America, she was like, I'm home. I'm good.
Right.
And probably switched it up.
Like some of them chicks used to do with me, man. Like that JV game was their excuse to get out of class early, to get out of sixth period. You know what I'm saying? To get out of sixth period early.
But then once they got to the game, once that bell rang, they didn't stay for the whole game.
They didn't stay for the whole game. They just need to get out of class early.
They just needed to get out of class.
I feel my man G in Palmdale.
Man, we come back, man. We're going to talk about these Georgia spa killings. Is it a hate crime? We're getting a little deep. We'll talk about it next in the MRA Podcast. Hey guys, if you're digging the show, then please tell somebody. People might say something to you like, hey man, you know what podcast you listening to? And that's when you say the MRA Podcast with Kyle and Kamal.
Or the MRA Podcast with Kamal and Kyle.
Kamal, this Georgia story is interesting to me, man. These 6 Asian people were killed in Atlanta last week. And I don't know how to call them. I don't want to call them Asian like they're not from America. 6 American Asian or Asian American people. Let me say that.
Of Asian descent.
Yeah, I like that. But anyway, they were killed. And there's been a lot of protests with from Asian Americans. I know a friend of mine, Rel Battle, he posted Stop Asian Hate. I appreciated that because that's a black man posting Stop Asian Hate. Sometimes, the LeBron haters, they say we only care about our own plight. We don't care about the plight of the next man.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a problem that Asians feel. And this is my thing. I've always noticed 2 groups, man, that people hate. Black people and Asian people. Those are the 2. And Asians have it hard, man, because their country has been, not all countries, but like we have had war with Japan. We've had beef with other countries.
Vietnam.
We've had a war in Vietnam. Go ahead.
No, it's Vietnam, yeah.
Exactly. So it's a different type of Americans versus them.
Korea.
Here's an advantage white people have. We've gone to war with the European countries too. But you don't assume that person's German when you see them. But when you see an Asian person, you assume they're Japanese if we're at war with Japan.
Oh, and they got put in concentration camps.
Yeah, man.
A lot of them did. They got put in concentration camps because they might be spies. Yeah. I know after the Korean War, a lot of the Koreans faced a lot of racism. I think they made a movie about it. The Clint Eastwood movie.
Mm-hmm.
What is it called? Cadillac? No, it's something about a car. Gran Torino.
Mm-hmm.
Gran Torino is about basically this Korean veteran who was racist as a motherfucker. Dude. Dealing with Koreans in the
Korean
millennium.
War veteran or a Korean American?
Korean War veteran.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Asians know about discrimination. It's weird because Asians up until recently were the last group of people you could imitate the way they talk. You could people it was still okay 5 years ago, but now they're getting they're getting their voice where they ain't putting up with that no more.
You can still imitate Latinos.
Hilarious.
You can. I mean, that's not for some reason you can still do the accent and all that, but
the Vato voice.
Oh yeah, man, you can still.
Yeah, you can still do that.
I mean, I don't want to, but
yeah, but I hear what you're saying. But here's the thing. So with this Spall tragedy, the question that some people are asking is it a hate crime? And it almost feels like this is the George Floyd killing equivalent for the Asians. Now, I don't want it to be insensitive, so I'm going to pass it to you. Kamal, what do you think about that comparison?
No, I don't think it's accurate. I understand it's like a rallying call. Yeah. And like enough's enough incident.
Exactly.
But as far as with the Floyd thing was Floyd because of those were cops, you can say that's state sponsored. They were government employees. This guy was for all intents and purposes, this guy was a lunatic. At worst, he had he's a crazy man who had a sexual addiction. Not at best, but on the other side, he was a racist who was there to kill Asians just because of who they were. So I don't know. I hear they said his roommate said that the guy was embarrassed or ashamed of his sex addiction, and honestly, I think this shit's still real racist for him unless these Spalls were given happy endings. Just assume there's sex going on over there. Let me go start shooting cats.
But what if this is where he used to go? These are his old stomping grounds. And because we live in this, well, first of all, he's a poor example of this. But what if this is a guy who lives in a Puritan society in the South where there's pressure against fornication, and he's thinking these are the places he's gone before, and he's just going back to make sure, like an idiot, to make sure I don't do it again, I'm going to shoot up all the places that I'm blaming for my sins. Just like when a guy's with a prostitute and then puts her in his trunk and kills her. Prostitutes get killed a lot. What if it's that? How is that related to race?
I don't know. I don't know. I'll say this. What I do know is I think there is an agenda from some conservatives to try to label less and less of these crimes as hate crimes.
Yeah.
I know they have an agenda. I don't know why that is, but they truly try to, call it everything else in the book. Because they just don't want to label it a hate crime. I mean, there's an agenda. I don't see why. Mm-hmm. I think I know why.
In our mind, we're overdoing. In our mind, people are calling things a hate crime. For instance, if a white person and a black person is fighting, and the black person gets beat up, they probably think, or stomped out, or whatever in the fight, they would think that people would try to call that a hate crime. And some people probably would. They would probably say the stomping is because of hate. Go ahead.
Yeah, and they would. Some people would. Not everybody, but some people would. A lot of the police incidents, the police shootings, a lot of us want those to be categorized as hate crimes. Pretty much, all of that shit. Anytime there is a black man, somebody black is killed by a white guy and it seems to be like random, we want to call it a hate crime,
Yeah, especially the random part.
Well, yeah. I get it.
Did you target them because of their race, or did you target them for another reason? If this guy can prove, or if his lawyer can prove, hey man, I've been to these places, I have sex in these places, and my dumb ass just thought that if I wipe these places out, then I wouldn't be tempted anymore, this lawyer will be able to get away with this.
See, yeah, and here's the thing about it, because it's like that kid who was, I forgot his name. The name escapes me. I apologize. But that kid who was jogging, and those rednecks chased him in the truck, and they ended up killing him. Now, did they kill him because he was black? Was that a hate crime? No, I don't believe that was a quote unquote hate crime. But I believe did they follow him because he was black?
Yes.
Well, hold on. They followed him because he was black inside of that vacant house.
Yeah.
And then they feel because he's black that they're going to put him in his place. And then after all of that shit happened, they end up killing him. Now, was it a hate crime? I think that it was basically a supremacist crime. I'm superior to you, and it's my job to put you, make a citizen's arrest because, and so I don't think he was like, I hate that guy, let me go kill him. It's basically, I'm supposed to do this.
You got to develop your preaching voice, Kamal, because when you really get into this, you could really, I'm superior to you, because you got to really learn how to sing these words, Kamal, because you get me going, but your delivery is low-key boo-boo.
It's coming from the wrong voice.
Boo-boo. I'm just going to tell you right now. I'm looking at you right now. You're sitting back in your chair. You need to deliver this shit. I am superior to you because of your race.
Well, that was the Trayvon Martin thing. The George Zimmerman. I'm supposed to do this, right? I'm superior.
Yes.
And so I think going back to this Asian thing, I think this one was way more targeted. I think if we're going to call any of them a hate crime, I think this one has to be high on the list because he was targeting Asians. He wasn't targeting. Now, if I'm wrong, I don't know enough of the story. If he was going in there to target the people who, if they gave him a happy ending, that's one thing. He's kicking down the door. Where is Jane? And where?
Yeah, exactly.
But if he's just driving down the street unloading at people, coming out or walking in, he's targeting Asian people. And it's coming from a place of hate. And if that's the case, I think this is a hate crime. I don't see how they get around it.
I think the key word is if that's the case, and I think we need to keep finding out what the information is, and we got to be willing to hear both sides, because as of now, President Biden is saying that it's not a hate crime, and so is Vice President Harris. They're saying as of now it doesn't look like a hate crime, but, you know, we might find out that it really was, and so we're going to keep looking at this story. When we come back, Quavo and Saweetie split. Ooh, but it ain't just that simple. The family got involved. We'll talk about it. It's the MRA Podcast. Hey, guys and gals, if you're enjoying the show, let someone know. Whatever app you're listening on, please subscribe, give us 5 stars, and leave a positive comment.
Why wouldn't you give us 5 stars and a positive comment? We're great.
Yes, we are. This helps our placement so that other people can enjoy the show as well.
And why wouldn't they? We're great.
All right, come on. We first talked about Saweetie on this show back in October after she said that she would throw her brother back in the streets if he cannot buy her a Birkin bag and if he was not paying her bills. Well, she didn't say she would do it, but she said the audience should do it. Her man Quavo from the Migos, he was kind of walked up, you know, after her video, and he just was like, hey, man, that's the rules. That's the look on his face. Well, now they broke up, Kamal. Yeah, and it seems like not even gifts can get her to walk it off when it comes to cheating. She posted last week that she has endured too much betrayal and hurt behind the scenes for a false narrative to be circling that degrades her character. Presents don't band-aid scars, and the love isn't real when the intimacy is given to other women. Ladies, I don't agree. I do not agree. I know that's going to cause people to be upset. I do not believe the love is real or fake just because he dipped the weenie in another woman. I do not agree. Just come from a man who's done that. I do not agree. The love can be real, at least from our side, but I do agree from your side that it doesn't feel like love if he's doing that in his spare time. Quavo responded on his own social media saying, I know you want to make this into a show, so I'll play my part just this one time. I don't normally put my business out there, especially my personal life. I feel the need to address this, so there are no false narratives. I had love for you, and disappointed you did all that. What is all that? Is it that she called him out for what he did? I don't know. But here's where it gets fun, Kamal. His sister got involved. She posted from her Migo_Shara account. Not sure why she puts the word Migo into her.
I think you know why.
Maybe she works for the band. I don't know. I'm telling you, my sister's a listener. If you put my name or my group's name in your username, my beloved sister, I'm looking at you sideways.
She's just MRA Shala.
Oh, I'm hot as hell. Especially, you know, we blow up now. She's ever not, unless that's the thing that MRA fans do.
Yeah,
but nah, don't do your thing. I love you. I'm a big fan of yours, always have been, but let's not do it like that. Anyway, but maybe she's proud. I don't know, but I don't love it. She says, I've been quiet long enough. I see how this is turning into a bash fest towards my brother, and this ain't about to happen at none of y'all.
No, this ain't about to happen at all. None of y'all know how Saweetie is in real life, but I do, and it ain't all good. See, they don't use punctuation, man, so it's really hard. They don't use periods. Like, they write a whole 5-sentence paragraph, but it's no punctuation, so it's basically a 5-line sentence, and we're supposed to break that shit up.
Thank you.
And know where to pause. Mm-hmm. You know, as a teacher, man, this just... I just want to take my red pen.
Let's keep it moving, man. So basically she's saying Saweetie ain't all good. Then Saweetie's auntie got in the mix, Kamal. According to Jasmine Brad, Saweetie's auntie said, now, ! Hold
on. You can see this. The auntie is older because she got punctuation. She's writing the paragraph.
Oh, yes, she is. She says, now. Do we need Witty to start airing this motherfucker out? I'm not going to be half as nice as old Shara! What she not going to do is speak ill of my niece. I get very disrespectful about mine, period. You're right. Her punctuation game is tight.
I saw a comma splice, but I'm not going to ding her for it.
We're going to keep it moving.
Yeah.
Since we sticking our nose in other people's business, first they love you, then they hate you. Talk about she been quiet long enough. Talk about she been quiet long enough. Girl, it ain't even been 24 hours. Get the fuck out of here. I love that shit. Have my ass laughing about, motherfucker, what you mean long enough? Nigga ain't been a day yet. Auntie then went on to show a couple of posts from Nego Shara, where she shows off gifts she got from Saweetie. Okay, so they're going back and forth. Kamal, what's going on? Help our listeners. Come on, man. Help MRA Shala and everybody that's listening.
Well, it looks like Sister Shara is like my sister, man. Mm-hmm. My sister's got my back regardless.
Nice.
And if any of my old chicks, my current chicks was airing me out online,
we gonna have to stop.
My sister, I have no doubt my sister would be in there like, with this, hold on now. We ain't about to do this shit.
Hey, I can see the look in your sister's face too.
Yeah. And it looks like Auntie's same way with her niece.
Yes.
Like, hold on
Kamal's sister. Yeah, both of Kamal's sisters playing the parts of these two women.
Right. It's like, hold on, man. You know what? I could see if it was like an entire family affair, the mom and the sister. But it's like, these are these two women, and they probably like, they don't play that shit.
No,
they're very protective of their family members, as they should. And the one thing that, like I told you a long time ago, no matter if I'm right or wrong, my sister got my back.
Well, you know who needs a sister like that? Dr. Dre. We come back. Dr. Dre, we got some Dr. Dre drama. We'll talk about it. It's the MRA Podcast. You listen to us, but Kamal and I want you to know that we listen to you too.
Even if we don't always respond to your tweets in a timely manner.
I love how you said we, man. So if you have some feedback, maybe you agree.
Maybe you disagree.
Or maybe you just want to tell us how much you love the show, or that you want to testify about how we specifically helped you out. Or maybe you just want to tell Kamal how he was right or wrong.
But mostly right.
Whatever you want to tell us, hit us on our social. I'm at Kyle Irby.
I'm at Angry Kamal.
Hit us up and you just might hear your comment on the air.
Promise. We'll be gentle.
Kamal, the saga continues. Nicole Young alleges that Dr. Dre held a gun to her head twice in 2001. I'm thinking 20 years ago. I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, I wasn't a math major, but that sounds about 20 years ago. Yeah.
I just don't understand. I'm not saying it's okay when y'all play the tape trying to cancel. I'm telling you, I just don't understand. This is 20 years ago. I don't understand why you bringing up receipts from 20 years ago. Not even receipts, allegation. That he punched me in the head and face in 99 and 2000. Don't understand that either. Kicked down the door while this is a lawyer. I don't understand. Kicked down the door while she hid from his rage in 2016. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. She said, Andre has verbally and emotionally decimated my personhood to the extent that I'm currently suffering from post-traumatic stress syndrome. Now that sounds accurate to me. You can be in a relationship with somebody who you feel is so abusive that you end up in post-traumatic stress syndrome. Now that I can understand. I don't understand talking about some shit from 20 years ago in your operation. This guy's not a good guy. But I do understand saying you have PTSD because of being in a relationship with the person. That makes sense to me. Dr. Dre says, if this was so bad, why didn't you ever call the Popos? Nicole agrees that she did not call the Popo, but she did say she called the cops in 95 before they got married. Okay, allegedly he slammed her against the wall. Ladies, if you got to call the cops on a motherfucker before you get married, don't get married. They're on their best behavior before they get married. And this is what I would tell my baby girls. I got 2 of them. If you got to call the cops on this motherfucker before y'all get married, I don't care who he is. It's not going to get better. And we need men to start talking to their daughters about the truth before they go down this delusional path. Do not co-sign on the dude she's about to marry if they've already called the Popo. You need to have this conversation with your baby because it makes no sense. Kamal, what say you?
Well, here's the thing, Kyle. I'm having a hard time with this one. Okay. I don't know what month this is on their divorce. It's month 6 or 7 or,
Feels like month 13.
Right. I don't know how long it's been, but we've been trying to get the prenup, ratified or whatever. We, this imaginary prenup that supposedly, is null and void because Dre tore it up. We've been trying to subpoena old chicks and to see his records and see if he's paying for, other girls' apartments and whatnot. We've been doing all of this stuff, allegations that he's been verbally abusive. And now in month 7, I find out Dre held a gun to her head and punched her in the face. I feel, Kyle, she should have led with this.
I don't understand why you're not leading with this. You're leading with side piece. You got the names of 3 different alleged side pieces. Whoop-de-whoop. Yeah, we've heard the music. I don't understand that. You're leading with this.
Right.
If you want to paint this guy as a bad person, I'm gonna tell you right now, if he had a side piece, that does not necessarily mean he was a bad person. He just may not have been monogamous. He probably should have told you up front, blah, blah, blah. But if he was putting tips on you, I think we can all agree that we're going to vote bad guy.
Right. So it makes me feel that this is what I said last week and the week before and the week before that.
And the week before.
She's just throwing shit against the wall at this point. She's just, she really wants to, dissolve that prenup, and maybe it was some violence in there. It has to have some holes in there because she's
got to have a violence clause or some hose.
I know it's got to have holes in there because she's been trying to throw the holes at him since day one. So it's got to have some cheating in there. And now it's like, well, what about violence? Oh yeah, there was this one time.
There was violence when? Well, it was 20 years ago. Oh, you got anything else? Well, 19 years ago, you got anything else? 5 years ago, he made me okay.
Right. He kicked down the door while I hid from his rage. So no bruises, no nothing, no.
Y'all was having a heated debate and you were afraid. Okay. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah,
I've run through the house and run to the bathroom to retreat an outraged woman before. Yes, I have. Well, it's not the same because she can't beat your ass. True, but I have ran into the bathroom and said, I don't feel like talking anymore and had that door banged on. Is that traumatic? Yes, it is. I shouldn't go there. Whatever. When we come back, we got to talk about Deshaun Watson. Yep, we got to talk about it. It's the MRA Podcast. Guys, I have a comedy album. It's called Be a Man at All Times, and it's on, what's it on? Oh, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you stream your content.
It's a damn good comedy album.
I appreciate that, man. There's stand-up on there. Kamal and I wrote a whodunit mystery called The Case of the Missing Balls. That's on there.
Based on a true story.
Check out the album. Show your boy some support. And you can buy it on iTunes. Keyword buy it. Stop streaming. Deshaun Watson's in some trouble. We've been talking about massage therapists today. Talking about sex addiction and things and that. I'm trying not to go there with the humor because it feels like a lead is led right there. It's like an alley-oop. It's right there. But this is a serious matter. It's a serious, serious matter. So I'm going to take this seriously. They say Deshaun Watson got a thing for the massage therapist place. But for some reason, they're saying he's doing some inappropriate touching. What's going on, Kamal?
Well, yeah, man. It's the accusers are stacking up.
Mm-hmm.
So Deshaun Watson's been having these masseuses. He's been flying them in from Atlanta and going to their house, their private house, because of COVID now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's been finding masseuses on Instagram. I don't even like the sound of that.
Don't sound good at
right.
all.
And
don't sound reputable.
Yeah, and so he's asking them about massaging his lower body and all that, and he's been making them feel uncomfortable. So a couple of them have sued him for, I guess, inappropriateness, sexual assault. I don't know if he assaulted them, but basically made them feel uncomfortable. And so it was looking like it didn't look good, but it was kind of flimsy. And then another one came forward and said he forced her to have oral sex on him and threatened to ruin her career and all of it. Kyle, it's up to 7 now, and the lawyer, this Houston-based.
I thought it was 22.
No.
He had 22.
It's 7 official.
Oh, okay.
Who filed lawsuits, but he says he's got 22 women, and he's got to vet them. He's got to get the stories and all that stuff, and do his due diligence.
Yeah, due diligence. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna speak from both sides of of my face right now.
Okay, cool.
Deshaun Watson has demanded a trade from the Houston Texans. He has demanded a trade. Says he's not playing for him. They got a new coach. We meet with the coach. I want to be traded. Met with the general manager, still want to be traded. And Houston is adamant we're not trading this guy because they say after Patrick Mahomes, he's the next guy who's like the most valuable person in the league. So you don't trade a future Hall of Famer no matter what. And so they're like, we're not doing it. And all of a sudden, the Houston-based lawyer comes up with these women who are, accusing him, filing lawsuits, not criminal charges, not going to the police, but lawsuits, stating that he's been inappropriate with them, right? And so now I was watching the sports. He's like, man, nobody's going to trade for Deshaun Watson now. No one's going to trade for him with all this hanging over him. And so it seemed really fishy.
Real convenient.
It seemed real convenient that, this guy who's a Houston-based lawyer, finds these women all of a sudden, right?
Wow, that would be horrible.
Right. But on the flip side, as a Deshaun Watson fan, I am deeply disappointed in Deshaun.
Why?
This is 2021. And so a lot of these things happened during COVID. So 2020. This is the height of the Me Too movement. Why is this millionaire athlete putting himself in these situations? Why is he flying women from Atlanta who he doesn't know he's met on Instagram to come give him a massage in an intimate environment like his house, where it's his word against her word? And the only thing that can happen, because honestly, I think he'll be exonerated because I don't think, evidence is there, but it dirties his name. It muddies his name. And so why? Really, this is 2020, 2021. You're worth, you signed like $160 million contract. I know it's COVID, but homie, if you can get a massage, the team can send you somewhere, or if you're gonna get these chicks in here at my house, my boy is staying in here. Somebody's gonna be in here to witness this. Now, if I'm trying to smash,
yeah, which there's a good chance he wants to rub and tug. He wants to hit that. What if he wants to hit that? Come out, then what?
Kyle, why is he on Instagram getting Instagram chicks? The Instagram chicks have shown themselves not gonna say loyal because that's bad, but they have shown themselves to be out for followers.
The dollar,
right? Yeah. They are trying to get on, and so it's like, I'm not saying these women did anything wrong. Deshaun Watson can be a monster for all I know, but I'm saying is, if you're not a monster, why put yourself in the position where somebody can accuse you of being a monster, and now you have to spend hard-earned money to try to prove you're not? It's hard to put that genie back in the bottle. The only way this works out in Deshaun's favor is if it comes out that they made up the whole thing and they lied and they were persuaded to say something. But if it's just that he pays it and goes away, we're still going to think in the back of our mind, well, I'm not, because I feel, honestly, if somebody committed a crime, I'm not suing. I'm going to the cops, right? Yeah. Especially if this is my little girl. I'm not, well, sue his ass. Like, no, he did what? We're going to the police. I'm a Fred Goldman this shit. You know what I'm saying? And so once they get the civil shit before criminal, they hadn't even gone to the police. It makes me suspect this shit, right? It's like, this don't seem right. How you force somebody to have oral sex on you? And listen, ladies, please don't be upset with me because I'm sure it has happened. I find it hard for me to believe that, a man at this point, a famous man with everything to lose, can force you to perform oral sex on him. Is it, forcing her head down, or you better do this? It just seems that he's got so much to lose. Why would he take this chance unless he, in fact, is a monster? Yeah. And this is all.
We don't know if he's a monster.
But here's the thing,
he might
Kyle.
Be a monster.
This is all coming up during like the COVID time. The man's been in the league for 4 or 5 years. You know, we haven't heard a peep from this guy until these COVID trips, these COVID massages. And so it's like, well, you waited now? Because all of these chicks are coming out, I think these incidents happened like with the last, in the past year. Yeah. So you did all of this because of COVID?
Let me tell you something, Kamal. Men do stupid shit all the time. I am not buying the fact that just because he has so much to lose that he wouldn't do it. I know men who have risked their entire family for some ass and got the ass and lost the family. I know men who have risked their entire playing career because they have a sexual deviant fetish and they allow that thing to keep happening. It is possible to push a woman's head to your crotch. Very possible. It's stupid, especially when, look, man, how many times we said, man, why would he do that? He could get this. We don't understand what happens in the mind of many people. We don't get it. Some people, if you was whack when you was a child, you still whack in your mind. Or some people, when they had it all when they was a child, they still think they can have it all now. I don't know if he did this. I know I always believe women, not because it's in style to believe women. I believe women because I've never been lied on. When women have accused me of cheating or whatever, I always say, that girl's lying. No, I was lying. So I believe women because a woman's never lied on me. So when they say it, I believe them. Now, I know that all women don't tell the truth. I know that black men have been literally strung up off of a woman's lie. I know a woman is capable of lying. I know that for a fact. I don't want to believe these women. I hope they're nefarious. I hope they're on an Instagram hustle. But if they really are telling the truth, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And I think Deshaun Watson needs the benefit of the doubt, too.
Yes.
Because right now it's just an accusation. It's not a conviction. The one thing I don't want to happen, Kamal, is this turns out to be a thing that he pays the money and it just lingers over his head. And when the haters want to come for him, they can always bring it up. I hope that we find out. Huh?
Like Kobe.
Yes. I hope that we find out that it's bullshit. We come back. What are the Lakers going to do about LeBron? And after that, we have a Dear Irby from a woman who wants to make an investment with the family money, but a man doesn't want to. What should she do? Kamal and I are going to coach her up. It's the MRA Podcast. Hey guys, what's up? If you're enjoying this show, do us a favor and donate to our Patreon.
Word.
Just go to www.patreon.com. That's Patreon.com and make a donation to the MRA Podcast with Kyle and Kamal.
Word.
It's that simple. Listen to the show, love the show, share the show, break the show off with some dough.
Bars.
LeBron James, first of all, I want to send him his props. He is now the part owner of the Red Sox. But on the other side, LeBron doesn't get hurt often, but he got hurt. Kamal, I'm a Lakers fan. AD's hurt. LeBron James is hurt. It's not looking good for us right now, Kamal Abdul-Jabbar.
Hey, look, man. Like we're the Detroit Pistons are fighting for that number one spot in the draft. I don't need y'all coming down here tumbling, taking our number one spot now. You know what I'm saying? There's only room for one worst team in the NBA. But I guess you guys are trying to
both of us.
I guess you guys are trying to give us a run for the money.
Yes, Lakers and Pistons are always competing, even if it is for the worst team in the league. No. Look, it's going to be bad for the Lakers for a while, man. We're not built for depth. We're not the Utah Jazz. We're built with superstars. While those superstars are out, it ain't going to be good. When we come back, we have a Dear Irby from a woman who wants to make an investment with the family money, but her man doesn't want to. What should she do? Kamal and I are going to coach her up. It's the MRA Podcast. You need some advice in your relationship
and can't afford a therapist?
Yeah. Hit us up and we'll get you through this.
We won't even charge you a copay.
Exactly. The Dear Irby letter is our longest standing segment on the MRA, dating all the way back to the webisodes. This is where we truly save relationships one listener at a time. We've saved marriages,
encouraged divorce,
taught a guy how to please his woman,
encourage divorce?
Yeah, so hit us up for advice, and we'll help you out. Send your emails to dearherbie@themrapodcast.com. That is dearherbie@themrapodcast.com. Let's get in this Dear Herbie letter.
Let us.
Dear Herbie, hi guys, my name is Sharon. I recently started listening to your podcast and I really like it. Okay, so I was wondering what I should do. I've been married for 30 years to my high school sweetheart. We have been through the most together. We done separated twice. He had a whole nother kid. It's a mess. I'll just put it like that. He's been in and out of work, but I've been steadily holding us down. Recently, a friend of mine put me up on an investment opportunity. I know this guy because we were together. Oh, when me and my husband split up. Okay. My husband don't know this is the guy, but it is. I say all that to say my husband just don't like the man. He may not know something was going on, but even still, he can feel something, so he don't like him. I'm telling you, this boy ain't no threat to my husband. I would tell you if he was. Anyway, I feel like I should be able to invest where I want to invest since it's my money. It ain't even coming from the joint account. And I put most of the money in the joint account, even if it was. Oof. I should be able to invest where I want to invest, especially if that means he gets to split the money when it comes in. What do y'all think? You know I'll be listening. Sharon in L.A. Come out. What you think, Holmes?
Dude. So when I first read this, I read it twice, and I was like, I don't know what to tell Sharon. She's in a tough spot. But listening to you read it again,
yes.
So after the third time, and actually hearing it with my ears this time,
yes.
Oh, I think I know what to do.
Help us, come out.
Sharon, you can't make this deal.
Wow.
You can't make this deal, Sharon. Now, if he was just a friend, I would say go ahead. But he is that guy. And your husband knows it. He don't know for sure, but he knows it. Maybe it's the way dude looks at you. Like, you know what I'm saying? You've probably covered your tracks, but don't mean he did. You know what I'm saying? And he got a feeling, and he's right. And eventually, I believe, when it's all said and done, if you guys go the distance 50, 60 years, he's going to find out that this is the guy. If you guys do business together, like an investment, that means you guys might get closer. He might start coming around. Oh, we made a bag on this one. I got something else. Oh, for real? Running by. And so he's going to keep coming around. A guy your dude don't like is doing business with his wife, and a dude who has sampled his wife is doing business. Sharon, I understand the need to diversify and make some money, but this ain't the one. I know it. I know it's a sure thing. But the damages, you know, it's an investment, so it's a gamble. So there's a chance you might lose your money, but you can make money and lose so much more. Shit that's way more important than the cash right now, especially if you got the cash, you hold it down. And here's the thing, Sharon, ask yourself this. You said your husband is you know, he's in and out of jobs, he don't make that much money. What if one of his old chicks came in with a great opportunity to be his partner? How would you feel? Would you say, go ahead and get that money? You'd be like, no, nigga. Not that job. Not that job. It's the same thing. So if you wouldn't allow him, or you wouldn't feel comfortable, I don't want to say allow and shit like that, but if you wouldn't be comfortable with him doing business with somebody he used to smash or have a relationship with, do you think it's appropriate for you to do the same thing? Because it's the same thing. I know you say he's not a threat, and he's not a threat. I believe you. But your husband, man, he's a man. Ego. Take that shit into consideration. How would he feel trying to go to sleep and his wife is making, you know, a knot with this dude who has sampled my wife? And when I look at this man, he smiles at me. And now, boy, your husband is like, what is that nigga smiling at me for? What's he do now? Your husband's all in his head.
Yep.
And there's nothing good. Let me tell you, there is nothing good when a man start using his imagination. Ain't nothing good with that one, Sharon. Walk away from this one.
When we come back, I'm going to weigh in. Yo, what's up? I'm Kyle.
And I'm Kamal.
And you're listening to the MRA podcast where men come to talk and women come to eavesdrop. Kamal Abdul-Jabbar, we're on the same page here, sir. Sharon, you tripping. I know you're tripping because I've done this before. Not in the same way, but here's what happens. You're using a different set of logic than your husband. It probably is a great deal. And you're right. You did put that money in there. When you start to think about what you cannot do because of the rules, your marriage is in a lot of trouble. You're already in trouble because you're thinking about, oh, man, if it wasn't for you, oh, man, this sucks, oh, man. That is not a good teammate. You're pointing at your teammates. You've watched a basketball game. It's March Madness come out. You're watching the game. Somebody makes a mistake. It's nice when that person's encouraged. Oh, man, it's all right. We'll get the next one. But when the coach yells at you and then you point at the guy who messed up, it's not a good teammate, dog.
Oh, yeah, when you lose. I mean, we would have won if we had some three-point shooters on the team. If these guys could hit threes.
That's not a good teammate,
no.
dog. And that's what she's doing inside. Inside, she's starting to look at her husband because she's already airing him out to us. This nigga can't keep a job. I'm the one holding us down. I'm the one that pays. It's my money. Oh, word? That's funny because if he was making the money and you were sitting at home, you would probably call it our money. I've heard a lot of women do it. It's our money when it's his money. But when it's your money, it's my money. And here's what's messed up about this, Kamal. I agree with her. It is her money. It is probably a good investment. But I'm a big fan of following the rules. And I'm a big fan of dominologist terminology. And that says all money ain't good money. Domino players, bow your head and close your eyes. You got big five in your hand. You know what's about to happen if you slam this to get this 10 points. Somebody got that big six. And there's a three hanging out. They about to get paid. Don't do it. It ain't worth it. You always, if you're playing dominoes, if you're a businessman, if you're not thinking about emotion and you're thinking smart, you better be playing defense first. You better be thinking about the next move. This could go left. It could go left. I'm telling you, fellas, ladies, especially fellas, man. We get in a monogamous relationship. You know, a lot of us don't do monogamy well. I'm one of them. I ain't done it well. I'm not a big fan of it. But you made the agreement, so you better learn how to be.
Hold on. I'm not a big fan of it, but I do it pretty well.
Good. So you do it well, even though you're not a fan of it. And I respect that, man, because as I look back and reflect, I'm like, man, I wish I just would have followed the rules. I would have been in a lot better shape. You start thinking about what you can't have, then you start resenting your teammate. And that's a poisonous mindset, dog. When you find yourself doing that, you need to start sending yourself different messages. So, Sharon, let me get to you so we can get out of here. I should be able to invest where I want to invest. No, you should not. You're on a team. I'm sorry. You guys have a marriage. This is the rules of the marriage. I'm sorry. Unless y'all had an agreement up front, you're on a team. And it's hard for me to say this because I agree with you. You should be able to. But that's like saying LeBron should be able to, have a night where he only scores 10. And yeah, but that ain't real. Sorry. So what do you think, Sharon? First of all, thanks for listening. What do I think? I think you should find another investment. I think you should talk to your husband and come up with something that y'all can do together. Unless he ain't got no business sense. And then you're going to have to find the next one. There's another one. But you'll regret this. Especially since this guy is already off limits in your family. Don't do business with him. All money ain't good money. Don't do that. I'm telling you, you'll regret it. Where can we find you?
Man, Twitter, Instagram, and newly on Clubhouse at Angry Kamal.
There you go, man. I'm at Kylerby, KYLEERBY, not on Clubhouse yet, but it's coming. At the MRA Podcast, where you can find us both on, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. KylerB.com is where you can see some of the commercials I've done. Check out some comedy videos. Got a couple new commercials coming. I'm happy about that. The MRA Podcast is where you can check out 138 episodes we've done. Check us out on our affiliate in New York, DynastyRadioNY.com, and 1073VIP.com in Illinois. Kamal, you brought it as usual. I appreciate you, dog.
No problem.
Ladies, we love you. Fellas, be a man at all times.
Deuces.
MRA.